This show is sponsored by Alicia's Pillows and Things. Check out the Facebook page, Alicia's Pillows and Things, where you will find home decor you will not be able to resist at prices anybody can afford. Check out the pillows and stools of your favorite sports teams. Maybe you want a set of your kid's favorite cartoon or movie character. You can also get full body and neck pillows as well. Log on to ngscsports.com and go to the Alicia's Pillows and Things tab on the homepage to complete your order. It makes a great gift for Christmas at an affordable price. NGSC Sports. We never stop.
You're listening to NGSC Sports Radio. Hear us live on ngscsports.com, where you can get awesome analysis for all things sport. Or check out our podcasts on iHeartRadio, Spreaker, iTunes, TuneIn, and much more. For our latest videos, head to NGSC Sports YouTube channel. Follow us on Twitter at NGSC Sports and like us on Facebook. NGSC Sports. We never stop.
I literally heard like everything you were saying to me.
That, like, literally no audio on my computer was working. Like, I was playing YouTube videos, I was playing music, I was just doing the normal volume changing. Literally no sound from my computer. Oh, that's scary.
Well, it's working now.
It's true, everything is working now. So that's fine and dandy, unlike sour candy. Because sour candy's terrible, you monsters. Welcome to the Foreign Fair Podcast, episode 296, everyone. We made it. We made it past the first of the year, and we're still alive. Woo! We did it. We did it, fam. We made it through week 1 of 2020. only 51.
Barely.
Yeah.
Barely.
Only 50.
Day 1, new decade. Awesome. Day 2, Australia's on fire. Day 3, how about...
Why not?
Why not? Let's kick this decade off in fashion.
Hey, don't worry. We're going to have Brexit soon, so this will just keep getting better. Welcome, everyone, to the Foreign Affair Podcast. I am Edward Green, joined as always by McCullen Crime, Wes Bradshaw. We have a dynamite show for you today. That's probably a bad choice. We have a great show for you today, everyone. We will, of course, be doing an FA Cup review because it's the magic of the FA Cup.
It's the most important of all the cups, as we well know.
Of course, because Liverpool's still in it. There's also the League Cup semifinals, first legs to recap, and then do a quick Premier League preview for this coming up weekend. We'll also have, of course, news and notes. We'll do the watch for...
Yep, watch for. That's right.
That's great. What an amazing rundown. That's fantastic. So get ready, everyone. Hey, Brock Lesnar drew the number 1 at the Royal Rumble. That's something.
There you go.
So that's your So Elite Raw for the week, folks. As always, thank you so much to NGSC Sports at ngscsports.com. We Never Stop, which is has some great articles out this week, including one about stats in the NHL. Go check that out. Big NHL fans here, of course. As well as Alicia's Pillows and Things. Listen, maybe you're a older Italian gentleman who has found a new line of employment in the last month or so, and what seemed like a good beginning has quickly turned into a horrible mistake. And you might be sitting there, older Italian man, and looking across the courtyard area and be like, why can't we be like that? Or why can't we be like that? It's me, Carlo.
I pizza once, why can't I do it again?
Hey, pizza pasta force. You can start doing the hand thing. That's so
Where
weird.
are you, a Koulibaly? Why are you not come with me?
Oh, I don't know when Carolina.
Yesterday.
Oh, the reference. Oh, anyway. Hey, look, times are bad, but they'll get better. But until they do, why not comfort yourself with like a chip? We do a lot of people. What about a Champions League trophy body pillow? Look, I'm just old Big Ears herself. Just get that on there and just hug it out like you used to, except this time it's soft instead of whatever metal the trophy's made out of. Just hold it tight and remember the good times and realize that you're probably not going to win a trophy where you are now, dude. It's that is not looking great. But hey, you can remember the good times. And that's what Alicia's Pillows and Things can help you do. Whether you're a Cleveland Browns fan or a Cleveland Browns soccer fan, aka Everton, you can, of course, get a great piece of furniture or pillow from Alicia's Pillows and Things. Check out her wares on her Facebook page. Just search Alicia's Pillows and Things. Very easy, very catchy. So go check her out for some great deals and what she's going on now in the new year. So thank you, Alicia's Pillows and Things, as well as NGSC Sports. Speaking of Everton and the FA Cup, that took place this past weekend. It is.
Yes, it is.
It is a thing that happened. So that is. Let's. We're not. We're gonna go through every result. We'll go really quickly through every result.
We might as well. What's Rochdale up to?
Rochdale is drawing Newcastle.
That's
Yeah.
a great place to start.
Hey, there you go. They got the 1-1 draw to force a replay. Because remember, folks, replays are a thing. It's not like people already have a gazillion matches to play. More. Gotta have more. It's the magic of the FA Cup, though. Another replay is also going to be happening between Bristol City and Shrewsbury Town as they drew 1-1. Millwall put the hurt to League Two side Newport County 3-0. Hull beats Rotherham 3-2. Big match there as they score late on twice in the last half hour, and a hat trick from Tom Eaves is the difference maker for Hull as they advance over Rotherham. Burnley get a 4-2 win over Peterborough United. Birmingham get a 2-1 win over Blackburn. Fulham beat Premier League side, I should say, Aston Villa. They might be League One one day. You don't know that. They do beat Aston Villa 2-1 in a battle of teams. One just went down, one just went back up. But who knows? Maybe Aston Villa will go down again. Cardiff and Carlisle draw 2-2. The League Two side Carlisle United hanging tough against Cardiff to force a replay, and they're going to get a home match. Hell yeah, Carlisle United getting a home match against Cardiff. Oxford beats Hartlepool United 4-1, which, if you're a fan of teams outside of the Football League, not a good week for you. As Hartlepool United, they were up 1-0 going into the second half, but it went very downhill from there as they lose 4-1. Southampton beats Huddersfield Town 2-0. Sheffield Wednesday gets Brighton and Hove 1-0 at Brighton. So that's a big one. And again, that's not Sheffield United. That's Championship side Sheffield Wednesday with the win there, 1-0. Reading and Blackpool drew 2-2, so they'll be doing a replay in Blackpool. Watford draws Tranmere Rovers out of League One 3-3 in a quote-unquote entertaining match. Watford goes up 3-0 in almost the first half hour of play, but gives up goal after goal at the end at Vicarage Road to let Tranmere Rovers have a replay at Birkenhead. Hell yeah, Birkenhead. Norwich gets by Preston North End 4-2. Brentford beats Stoke 1-0 as Stoke continues its plummet down in Wigan-esque fashion. Speaking of Wigan, Leicester takes care of business against Wigan 2-0. Wolves and Manchester United, one of the glamour ties of the round. One of the two Premier League versus Premier League draws. Was a match of football. It happened. 0-0.
It happened.
0-0 is the result.
So they say, at least in the record books it says it happened.
Hey, I watched the last half hour. Wish I hadn't, but I did. 0-0 is the final. Hey, I got to see Adama Traore do a few things. So that was worth it for free.
As long as flexing is one of them, we're good.
It was. So that was fine. So there'll be a replay in Manchester in a week or so. Bournemouth sails past Luton 4-0. Man City does the same to Port Vale 4-1. Pompey 2-1 winners at Fleetwood Town as the Battle of League One sides goes the way of Portsmouth. QPR. Lovely QPR. They fly past Swansea 5-1. Chelsea get through Nottingham Forest 2-0. West Brom beats Charlton Athletic 1-0 in Charlton. Sheffield United beats AFC Fylde, the other non-football league team, 2-1. So we are out of non-football league teams in this March Madness in January tournament we have here. Bristol Rovers and Coventry drew 2-2 for a replay. Crewe Alexandria falls to Barnsley 3-1 at home. Tottenham uses a late on goal from Lucas Moura, who that's about all he does is score late goals, to rescue a 1-1 draw against Middlesbrough for Spurs. They'll get a replay at the new Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, name still TBD, on January 14th. And then finally, to wrap up the last few here, Derby beats Premier League side Palace 1-0. Big win for Derby. Derby's had a few good wins in tournaments last year, even with Frank Lampard.
They got Wayne Rooney, of course they have.
Hey, Frank Lampard, Wayne Rooney, it's they're players, managers. That's the ticket.
Thank God, Wazza.
Northampton Town, the League Two side beats Burton Albion 4-2. West Ham gets past Gillingham 2-0. And then Arsenal beats Leeds 1-0 in a score that was almost harsh somewhat to Leeds. Leeds actually looked pretty good in that match. But Arsenal will come out victorious 1-0. And lastly, West Bradshaw, in what I am assured was actually not an under-18 match from the FA Cup. This was an actual full-side, full-strength FA Cup match. Liverpool beats Everton 1-0. Where I believe
we must not have gotten the memo.
Oh, they pretended it was the League Cup against Aston Villa and sent their B squad, where the average, I believe the average age was 6 for Liverpool start 11.
Especially once James Milner came off 7 minutes in.
Exactly. And like
you literally take out Lallana and Adrian and yeah.
This is stunning, and not only because, like, okay, so Everton, to be fair, played okay in the first half. I wouldn't still say they played good. I won't say they deserved to be, like, in front in the first half, but they played okay. That second half, as much as we made fun of the Wolves United 0-0, this was way worse. This was atrocious football from what is a mostly senior side that Everton put out here. I mean, Wes, I'm sure you can add more to this, but this was, and just to read on the article recaps from The Athletic, we're pimping The Athletic early today, where they're talking about a Ferguson using the hairdryer after the match. Not that Ferguson. It's Duncan Ferguson, who apparently ripped into players and the players kind of ripped back into him. I guess
disorderly.
Oh man, the Shia LaBeouf clapping gif right now. So I guess two things to go through here, Wes. One, your thoughts on the match overall, of course, with the kids getting to play and not just play but win. And then I guess secondly, for Everton outside of this match, I don't want to say it's already gone tits up for Ancelotti at Everton, but it's not great. After a pretty good start, the second half at Arsenal and then this have been actually atrocious football.
Well, in defense of Carlo Ancelotti.
Sure.
I mean, we are on to 2 full decades now of Everton having absolutely no joy at Anfield. Mm-hmm. So, really whatever team was put out there, they were already in trouble just because it was Anfield. Mm-hmm. So, Everton last won at Anfield in 1999. So, in this century, which has spanned, let's see, it was Houllier, it was Benitez, it was Wooey. Actually, I don't know if they even played Wooey at home or not. That might have been their chance. Tired soon enough. Kenny, Brendan, Jurgen. So 6 Liverpool managers, and absolutely none of them have dropped at home to Everton in this century. End of the day, second half, there was one team that wanted it.
Yeah.
There was one team that wanted it. Liverpool, for the first 20 minutes, Everton had their way, and if not for some really spectacular Adrian saves, would have had a lead. Mm-hmm. But I think that just instilled some confidence in Liverpool. And they just absolutely took off in the second half, and it was highlighted by that fantastic goal by Curtis Jones, his first senior goal for the Reds. And end of the day, that's just what happens at Anfield. Everton comes, they don't win, and nothing changed.
Yeah.
Whichever team we put on the field, that does not change. Mm-hmm. So, as we said, right now it's the most important cup of all until Europe comes back.
Of course.
Liverpool are on, and Everton. I think it's time, Ed.
Yep.
I think it's time to break out this year's updated rendition. I say updated. It's the same words every year. You just sing it after they're pretty much eliminated from doing anything. And it goes like this. Are you ready? Sing along with me at home, children. You haven't won a trophy. You haven't won a trophy. You haven't won a trophy. Since 1995. Since 1995. Since 1995, rinse, repeat. You guys know how it goes because it's a timeless song that I don't see changing anytime soon.
Tale as old as time, song as old as rhyme. So I was in the same article as the Duncan Ferguson controversy on the Athletic. They did talk a little bit about some of the changes in formation Ancelotti did, and it was a little odd the way they came out in the second half and tried to, instead of attacking Liverpool full out like they were in the first half, which, as you said, had a little bit of joy to it, they tried to start playing out of the back, and that feels like a really bad idea against Liverpool, to be honest. So one of the things that came up was like, one of the commenters was like, well, I care more about the next 2 years than this one match, so I just want Ancelotti to be experimenting and trying to see what he's got in every situation and doing all he can. And I'm like, dude, I'm all for experimentation. I'm all for understanding what you have, but I'm just gonna say that I don't think an FA Cup match, and what is at this point your only chance at a trophy this season, against your arch rivals, against what is easily a B-side for them, and you're putting out almost your full strength squad as you can.
Yeah,
that's not the time to experiment. That's the time to play for the win. You want to experiment? You have Brighton and Hove and West Ham coming up. Experiment against those guys. Don't, because you're not doing anything in the league. Who cares? Don't experiment in the FA Cup. The only thing you can actually have a chance to win this year. That's just stupid. So when I say I will put that on Ancelotti. If that was his game plan and that's why he did it, I will actually put that on Ancelotti. Contrary to my previous comments, Wes, it does seem like much more of what's wrong with Everton is their actual player base themselves. And whether it's Marco Silva, whether it's Big Sam, maybe not Big Sam, or whether it's Carlo Ancelotti, it seems like what's needed is just wholesale changes at Everton, not so much in the manager's spot, but in the 11 guys out there on the pitch.
Right. I mean, they've got a good manager. It's pretty much known. I mean, they've got a good manager. So much money has been flushed at Everton recently on just poor player decisions. And I mean, that's going to be the biggest thing for Carlo is he's going to have to, figure out a way to rebuild this squad. He's been told they'll give him money, but you know what? Financial fair play they're going to have to sell to be able to buy big. And who the hell's buying these guys for the price that Everton's going to put on them?
I mean, I saw somebody put today. They were like, "Oh, well, maybe we can sell Richarlison for 90 million." I'm like, dude, Eden Hazard just went for 100. You're not getting 90 for Richarlison. It's not happening. Not at all, dude. Come on. So
yeah, people are ridiculous. But I mean, this is an Everton team that you start going down that roster. I mean, it's overall a poor roster. You gave fucking Theo Walcott too much money.
Yeah.
None of those defensive players are very good. I give Digne's not terrible. But, Michael Keane, they seriously overpaid for him. They overpaid big time for Gylfi Sigurdsson. Schneiderlin, this whole Moise Keane thing. That looks like it's got disaster written all over it. Calvert-Lewin plays hard. That's about the best thing you can say for him. Jordan Pickford. Jordan Pickford.
10 years.
So, I mean, it's a poor squad right now. And, this is Everton who academies in football, but then suddenly when those guys get up there, none of them ever get better. So maybe that's somewhere they can improve. You got Tom Davies who didn't play in this match. You've got some young guys. I don't know. And Everton's just Everton. I don't see it changing anytime quick.
Yeah. It is a problem. It is a Rubik's Cube that has yet to be solved by anyone over the last, basically since Moyes left. And they were in a fairly comfortable treading of water in like that 5th, 6th spot in the Premier League. And now it's just that boat is completely overturned, it seems. So, but we will see what's to come of them in the weeks ahead. As we look ahead to the 4th round proper, by the way, replays will be happening on January 14th. So once again, if you're a Manchester United fan, hey, you got through the entire busy season, then you played the FA Cup this weekend, then you played the League Cup this midweek, then you're going to play the Premier League
Cup. They're still doing that one?
Yeah.
That one doesn't matter.
Then you have the Premier League this weekend. Then you have another FA Cup match midweek, and then in more Premier League. It's so stupid. I hate this. I hate this so much. It's dumb. Like, I don't feel bad for United because LOL United. But, this is stupid, guys. Come on. We can do better. But anyway, the 4th round proper will be played between January 24th and 27th of January. So, yay! That's coming up soon. The matchups will feature either Watford or Tranmere versus Wolves or United. So, big ups to them. Hull hosts Chelsea. Southampton will host either Middlesbrough or Tottenham. QPR gets Sheffield Wednesday. Bournemouth and Arsenal will square off in a Premier League tilt. That could be fun, maybe. I don't know. Northampton Town, the League 2 side, Northampton Town gets Derby County, and Waza coming to their home. Brentford gets Leicester. Millwall gets Sheffield United. Reading or Blackpool will take on Cardiff or Carlisle. West Ham takes on West Brom. Burnley will handle Norwich. Bristol or Coventry will get Birmingham City. Man City gets Fulham. Of course they do. Rockdale or Newcastle will get Oxford. Pompey hosts Barnsley. And Liverpool will be heading to either Bristol City or Shrewsbury Town, depending on the results there. So, yay for FA Cup action. Woo! Yeah, exactly. As we mentioned, also the League Cup semifinals took place this week, and then the return legs will take place just after those FA Cup matches on the 28th and 29th of January. Today, Leicester and Aston Villa played to a 1-1 draw at the KP. Kalichi and Nacho, freed from the shackles of Pep Guardiola's Man City, comes on to score a 74th minute equalizer for the Foxes. Aston Villa getting an early goal in the first half hour from Frédéric Guibert. The Frenchman coming on to score for Aston Villa, and gets them a 1-1 draw, which is big for them. They're basically playing at house money at this point after getting past Liverpool in the last round. But hey, now they go home, and they have that one... Oh, wait, no. The away goals don't count anymore.
No.
Never mind. But hey, they're tied.
Because, it's England.
Yeah. They are tied, though, so they will get a equal crack at home against Leicester, where if they can win, they will be heading to the League Cup final, where they will most likely be facing Manchester City after they get a big 3-1 win at Old Trafford. It was an early blitz of beautiful football with goals from Bernardo Silva and Riyad Mahrez, and then Andres Pereira, for good measure, got in on the scoring as he added inadvertently for the total to Manchester City. Marcus Rashford, the lone bright spot for United, as he scores in the 70th minute. But Wes, as for this match, or as for this two-leg tie, I suppose, it's hard to imagine, because we're not playing the Champions League, Manchester City dropping what is currently a 3-1 scoreline at the Etihad to United in a few weeks.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to happen. God, City, this thing could have been completely dead. It looked like City was going to drop half a dozen.
Yeah.
It looks like they could have. United scored that one goal. Kind of a lack of concentration at the moment from City, and Rashford got that goal. But A, it's United. B, United are just decimated by the flu right now, apparently. And Raul is telling guys to get hurt. But anyway, you digress. But it looks like City are cruising right back into another League Cup final. This is becoming their tournament pretty much.
Hey, don't worry. City's still going to do a double this year.
Sure.
Yeah, they'll do.
The second?
They might win the FA Cup. We'll see. They have a...
I don't know. We're kind of thinking maybe we this bitch this year.
Oh, it's fun. It's all fun. But surely it looks like, yeah, it does look like if City does, as you would expect, hold on against United, they would be favored against Aston Villa coming up here at the beginning of March. Although who knows? That is around the time the Champions League rolls back in, so maybe Aston Villa can catch them off guard in the League Cup final. And if it's a City Leicester match, hey, that would be a pretty good one. That could be a pretty good match of football, I tell you what. So we shall see, though. Again, 28th and 29th will be the return legs of the League Cup. And then finally, in the Premier League, it's like it never left, because it basically didn't. You got one weekend off, so you could play in the FA Cup. Congratulations, boys. Congratulations. As we take a look at this week's fixtures, starting on Friday, 3 p.m., Friday Night Football on NBC Sports. Sheffield United will be hosting West Ham at Bramall Lane. That will be a fun one, especially with the way Sheffield has been playing this year with their very direct method of football. At 7:30 a.m. on Saturday, you get Palace versus Arsenal. At 10 a.m., you get the choice of Chelsea, Burnley, Everton, Brighton, Leicester, Southampton, Man United, Norwich, and Wolves versus Newcastle. Then at 12:30, what I'm sure will be a very non-entertaining match whatsoever, the first AFA podcast derby of the season, as it's... No, that's wrong. That's very wrong.
Yeah, we've already beaten you once.
Wow, never mind. Second AFA podcast. Why did I think it was the first? That's weird. Second AFA podcast derby of the year. Tottenham hosting Liverpool at New Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, named TBD. So that will be rather interesting. We'll see how that goes. Maybe it would be just like Spurs to do it. It would be the most Spursy thing, right when the chips are down. Oh,
well, and two, it's Mourinho. And Mourinho has a complete heart on screwing with Liverpool. So.
It's in the stars. Then on Sunday at 9 a.m., it's Bournemouth versus Watford in a bottom-of-the-table clash. Both those teams desperately needing wins. Then 11:30, it's maybe a League Cup preview as Aston Villa hosts Manchester City at Villa Park. So that is your schedule for the weekend. No real big matches from the top teams besides, again, that Spurs versus Liverpool matchup, as Liverpool looks to continue their unbeaten streak to start the season. All right, so we'll head into news and notes. As always, we like to pimp the Athletic, and as we've sort of already done. By the way, do not read the story about the Boston Red Sox that came out this week. Don't. Shh. Didn't happen. It didn't happen. Shh. The Athletic finally got one wrong. But the one I will pimp this week, and it's a great story. Besides the 100 greatest baseball players story that we talked about last week, which continues to be amazing. I like this one from Stuart James. The headline, with any mistake, there's a groan from the crowd. It's like a punch to the guts if he misplaces a pass. Life as the parent of a professional footballer. It's a great look into...
That was really good.
A sort of... A very humanizing thing. You know, it's... We tend to forget that these people we cheer for and sometimes boo, they have families, and they go to watch the matches and they feel they live and die on everything. Some of these parents do, and it is heart-wrenching. And I mean, Wes, you have a child, you've coached a child in soccer, one of the best, I believe, 5-and-under teams ever seen in the Nash County area. So I'm sure that as your daughter has grown up, you can sort of start beginning to relate to this article a little bit.
A very, very little bit, as mine has now given up, taken up the dance.
Hey, there's competition in that. I saw Bring It On and Step Up to the Streets.
Totally. Oh my God, if she ever gets to that level, Jesus, just shoot me now. It was a really interesting look inside. People from the outside like to give parents like shit, oh, you're trying to live vicariously through kids. I mean, sometimes it's not so much that, but it's just you want the best for your kids.
Oh yeah.
You want them to succeed, and you want them to achieve their dreams and do the absolute best that they can. And then when you've got people in the stands who they know them as a commodity on their team. Oh, you suck! You're not shit. As that story started with, I believe it was it Patrick Roberts?
I believe so.
Was
yes.
the player.
Yes.
With the leads coming up and saying, "Oh my God, no!" And he's like, "Oh, who are you?" It's my son you're talking to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, insert foot and mouth. And then they said she broke out crying.
Yeah.
Don't burst into tears. No, own it. When you do something, just freaking own it.
You fucked up.
Yeah, you fucked up. But very, very good read.
Yeah.
Very good read.
Did you find any other articles that you enjoyed this week, whether it's in soccer or anywhere else on The Athletic that you enjoyed?
There's a lot of There's a lot that came out today on the University of Georgia.
Ooh, okay.
Of course, Jake Fromm
Mm-hmm.
declaring and going pro today.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's, oh man, what's going to happen? Georgia, they're losing. I think they've had 5 underclassmen on their offense declare
Mm-hmm.
to go early. Now they're scrambling for a quarterback. Are they going to get go the graduate transfer route? What are they going to do for next year? It's a lot going on at Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of turnaround. So that's something. And then they've had Seth Emerson does just a great job covering Georgia. Manny Navarro does a phenomenal job covering the University this week with the hiring of Rhett Lashley as their offensive coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to bring more that up tempo spread that Miami has just been one of those teams that never went there.
Mm-hmm.
Miami's played that pro style offense just for years and years and years, all the way back to the glory days, and now for the first time, really, we're going to see that Miami offense completely evolve under Rhett Lashley. So that's been some really interesting reads this week. There's an article that I used to read yet, but it was a sit-down interview with Pep Linders, who is your Pop's number 2.
Yes.
And that looks to be a very good article that I will.
Somebody mentioned it actually in that article for Everton about Duncan Ferguson and the contrast between the two assistant managers.
Exactly. So, you've got old bloody Duncan.
He's got a tattoo.
And then you've got Linders, who's, seen as one of the great intellectual number 2s in the world right now. Something Duncan definitely not seen. But, you can't go wrong with Athletic. There's so much good stuff in there.
It's very, very, very good stuff. So please, guys, keep checking them out. Again, we're not paid to say this. I wish we were, but we're not. So, and we say it anyway. So think about that. We'll check out this article though from Matt Jones over on Bleacher Report. And I'm sure Wes, you'll have some thoughts on this. Liverpool, after a long and winding road, have finally confirmed an agreement with Nike to become their kit supplier from the 2020-21 season. They had been with New Balance for since 2015, but they are going to be heading, as so many clubs have done, they are heading to the swoosh. There's been a lot of hard feelings somewhat on the New Balance side. It's been a interesting road to get here, but it finally is official. West Liverpool is getting the swoosh and joining the Nike Armada.
Me, I'm not the biggest Nike.
Yeah, I know.
But man, when you look at the numbers, just from the club standpoint, when you start looking at the numbers, you start looking at, the way, Liverpool are not chic oil money.
Mm-hmm.
They're not the commercial monolith that is Manchester United. They've got to find these ways to get the money in, and this is a big chance to get a big chunk of it in.
Mm-hmm.
So, man, you got to do what you got to do, and we're going with the swoosh. Sell just a little bit of our soul for it, but it's what it is, man. You got to do what you got to do this day and age.
I can't wait to see Nike's rendition of the Toxic Sludge jerseys. It's gonna be great, folks. It's like Oregon. It's gonna be like Oregon.
Well, as you always see, you start seeing the mock-ups, and there's some really good-looking stuff out there. How much of it's legit, who knows?
Yeah.
But there's some really interesting looks out there, and I think a lot of people definitely want to see Liverpool stick with a black kit as either their second or third. So,
I can tell you, as someone who enjoyed the Under Armour reign at Tottenham, I haven't hated Nike. I haven't loved all their designs, but I certainly haven't hated it. I've actually liked quite a few of them. So Nike definitely has a chance, except for that one year where they tried to do like the same jersey for literally every club they had, and it was just like super bland and boring. They learned. So they haven't done that since. So they've been a little better about keeping a little bit of identity for each of the clubs. So, and lastly, real quick here, news and notes, as we sort of alluded to in the opening of the show. Hey, we're all still alive, and the USMNT is looking to sort of keep it that way, as they are postponing a Qatar training camp amid, quote, developing situation in the Middle East. Of course, this was from a few days ago when things looked even scarier between the relations between the United States and Iran. And of course, Qatar being right there, smack dab in that whole Middle Eastern region. Wasn't a good idea probably to send the United States there with tensions running so high. Still not going over there. But one does have to kind of start to wonder potentially down the line if it's 2022 and the U.S., fingers crossed, actually qualifies for a World Cup this time. I mean, could we see a United States team just not go to Qatar for the World Cup because of security issues? It's sad to think about. I don't think we're gonna. I hope we don't get to that point, but because it would just be devastating after missing it last time. But it does kind of show the realities of the situation. And once again, why did we give it to Qatar? Why did we give the World Cup to Qatar? So
Seriously.
Yay.
Yeah.
Yay for that. So that is going to do it for news and notes, though, this week. That already brings us to the Watch 4. Oh, actually, no, wait. I had one more thing. I forgot it. Sorry. Because it's transfer season, baby. Bang, 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 bang. Transfers already going out. A couple notable ones. Rian Brewster heading to Swansea on loan for the rest of this season. That's kind of a big one. And then poor little Danny Drinkwater. He'll be heading now to Aston Villa on loan from Chelsea. I'm sure you have a little bit of thoughts on each of these, but as for Daniel Drinkwater, to go from where he was at that title-winning team with Leicester, his star has fallen so hard. He's a reverse N'Golo Kante. And I believe someone said it's been almost 2 years since he's been on the pitch for a win with the club he's been a part of. So not great times for Danny Drinks.
Yeah, like you said, Conte, it was a positive for them to make that move career. Mahrez, you could argue a little bit, but I mean, really, the dude stepped up a level. So what can you say there? And he's done fine. It's just he's in a really good spot. Yeah. Drinkwater decided it was time for him to make his big move, and he's gone from playing for England to literally, as you said, can't get a game hardly anywhere. I mean, went to Burnley for the first half of the season. Shit there. Embarrassed himself. I mean, and this is Burnley who was crying out for some help. So so it's been really poor for Danny. For Rian Brewster, this isn't a big shock. Wanting to get him some more time. Klopp was hoping to be able to do it some in this first half of the season, but then when everything's just been going the way it is, it's really hard to introduce an unproven player into this Liverpool squad right now.
Sure. Yeah.
When there's there's no weakness anywhere. You don't need anybody in there. He's had his chance in the Cups. He's played pretty well in the Cups. But where Curtis Jones, it looks like, may be able to carve himself out a place in this team right now for Brewster, it's just not. So, go off to Swansea. Luckily, the manager for Swansea is a former academy manager that Brewster played for at the academy. Also, he was the manager of the that under-17s team that won the World Cup.
Yes, okay.
Which Brewster won the Golden Boot. So, he's going back now and playing for a guy that he's comfortable with and a guy who's comfortable for him. Swansea play an up-tempo style. So this could be really good for Brewster to go out and hopefully.
There you go. We'll, of course, see how he does, and as he joins a very comfortable situation for him. We'll just wrap up this part here with a little bit of United news that came a little earlier today. Harry Maguire is still the best deal ever United could have done. Will be out this week with a torn hip muscle. That's not great. No timetable for his return, according to the Telegraph. And then according to the BBC, Ashley Young is heading to Inter this summer as his contract expires. So everything's coming up Millhouse for United right now.
I saw something today.
Yes.
Did I keep it? Oh, I think I might not have. It was showing the current salaries of United players.
Mm-hmm.
So like right now, De Gea's on like $1,000 a week. Ashley Young's on like 120 grand.
Oh God!
Here's one you're gonna love. Luke Shaw's on 195.
Oh my God!
Solskjaer's on 145,000 a week. Phil Jones is on 120,000 a week. Who is it who can't score? Is that good? Jesse Lingard's on. So it made a comment. It was like United with mediocrity at the highest level. I mean, my God, I almost fell out of my chair when I saw that Luke Shaw's making nearly £200,000 a week. That basically he would be the second highest paid player on Liverpool right now, behind only Mo Salah.
Oh my God, that is nutty. Oh my God. Alexis Sanchez is on loan and on £350,000.
Yeah, I mean it's insane. Then what they're paying Pogba, who just isn't playing.
Almost 300,000, and then little Mason Greenwood making 15,000 a week. Probably their best player. With all due respect to Mr. Rashford, of course. Wow. So there you go. United fans, keep feeling good in this very busy time. This is the feel good. So that'll do it now. Finally, for the news and notes, that'll do it. Which means we can now kick it to the watch for Wes. What you watching in the week that was, or the week that will be?
Sorry, I know I'm staying bored here, but I'm steadily working my way through the Sopranos.
Yes.
I'm into season 4 now. Shit's happening. The first 3 seasons have kind of been this build up of the family, and now all of a sudden in season 4 we're finding chinks in the armor. We're having cracks. We're having worry, day-to-day worry over things that we've about through the first 3 years. Now also something to add, and I went back and I've read a little about it as I went through. This is the first season that was filmed post 9/11.
Ooh, okay.
So that's changed some things. They haven't harped on it, but it has, been storyline.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been really interesting. I'm really enjoying that show. I see now why people said it was a really good show.
It's crazy.
It was a really good show. What else? I've been listening to my podcast, my cult podcast that we talked about. Podcast. Good. It's so. I was actually going to go see Uncut Gems today.
Oh,
the Adam Sandler movie.
Yes.
But I ended up going and working for the afternoon instead, so I didn't get to go see it. But next week, 1917 starts on Friday, which is a highly anticipated by West movie. Mm-hmm. So really, really looking for 1917 coming out. And I'm looking forward to see what 2020 has to bring coming to my movie theaters.
Oh, I'm very excited. I'm just scrolling through the movies that are out right now. Bad Boys for Life, of course, coming out in about a week or so. So that's interesting. Definitely not going to see Cats. That's not happening.
I heard that's like the creepiest freaking movie ever.
It's so weird. It is. I feel like I I would never. This podcast does not condone either drinking or smoking pot on this podcast. We do not condone either of those two activities. But if I was going to have to watch Catch, I would have to do one of those things, because that's, oh boy, that's not a film you can watch sober. That's not happening. But hey, there's also 21 Bridges out with Black Panther in the lead role.
Awesome. Saw that one. That was really good.
What is that? I don't care. Nicolas Cage is in a movie that has the poster has the White House behind him, so I'm sure that's good. Because it's Nicolas Cage.
Oh God, anything with Nicolas. That's all. It's just anything with Nicolas Cage.
A true American treasure. The Runner is the name of this movie. In the aftermath of the 2010 BP oil spill, an idealistic but flawed politician is forced to confront his dysfunctional life after his career is destroyed in a sex scandal. What even is that? What even is that description?
I don't know.
Oh, there's so much going on there. So, hey, Peter Fonda's in it, though. So, there you go. What am I watching the week that was, or the week that will be? Let's see. I'm trying to think of anything. It's been an interesting week, and not a whole lot is happening. But hey, it's January. Stuff's back. Superstore and The Good Place are both back tomorrow, so I'm very much looking forward to those. Caught up on The Good Place, the podcast, hosted by Mark Evan Jackson. He plays Sean. And if you're not watching The Good Place, it looks to be 5 episodes left in the series. Again, only a four season long show, only about 13 episodes a season. Go get caught up, because it's one of the best shows on TV. It's dense and complex and thoughtful, and it has fart jokes. So what more could you want in a 22.5-minute hour of network television?
Of course.
It's amazing. So, again, go check it out. That's The Good Place. Coming back on NBC this week. But it does seem like that's going to kind of do it for this week's edition of the Foreign Affair podcast in almost record time for a duo cast. We've been on this week. Not a whole lot going on. Again, the craziest thing that happened was Everton losing in the FA Cup to Liverpool's B Club. So, not that much happening. Of course, there will be plenty to talk about as the Premier League returns this week, and as the transfer market begins heating up in earnest as we careen towards the closing of the window at the end of this month. Of course, and then next month, the Champions League is back finally. So that'll be a lot of fun. But until then, still Premier League action to get through. But that's going to do it for this episode of the Foreign Affair podcast. Once again, thanks to NGSC Sports, as well as Alicia's Pillows and Things. You can find both of them on social media, as well as us. As a collective on Twitter, we are at AFA Pod. Wes, you are...
I'm at Wes Bradshaw 21.
He is. And I am at Edward Green. You can also find us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube via our parent show, The All New Sports Show. And you can email us at allnewsportshow@gmail.com. You can also thanks to, of course, our podcast providers, including Podme.com, Stitcher, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, the TuneIn Radio app, Google Play Music, and the iTunes Music Store. I was also about to say that you can send your letters and parcels to 1701 Sunset Avenue, Suite 201, Rocky Mount, North Carolina, 27804. You can still do it. We just won't get it. And
yeah, because they're not there anymore.
Is anybody even there?
I have no idea who's up there now.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Poor. But anyway, don't actually send us anything there. It's just gonna go to waste. So we used to be there in a different time in our lives, but not anymore. So that is going to do it, though, for episode 296. But before we get out of here, Wes, is there anything else you'd like to add?
Jesus, is there really? Well, college football got the
Black Widow premiere Monday.
Yes, that's the best part, is we get to see the Black Widow premiere.
Yes.
And you get to see Tiger versus Tiger. It's Clemson, it's LSU. I'm excited. It's going to be a great championship game. There's going to be points. There's going to be big defensive plays. It's going to be great. It's going to be It'll versus shucks Dabo.
Oh, Dabo.
So,
He's going to dab on him.
It's going to be great, man. I'm excited for it.
It's going to be very...
I'm excited for it. It's all I can.
Hey, the Patriots lost. This was a crazy weekend. I don't get anything twisted. I didn't watch 1 minute of the NFL this weekend.
But I heard about like an hour after it happened.
Yeah, that's what I did. I actually heard about some of the stuff that happened. Crazy. Good for you, NFL. If anybody needs the good feelings, it's those plucky young upstarts at the NFL. So congrats guys on all that. Couldn't happen to better owners and executives. Really. It's a shame. I hate the NFL. Or the NFL made me hate it. Fuck you all. But anyway, that's going to do it for episode 296. He's McCullen Crime, Wes Bradshaw. I am Edward Green. Thank you so much for joining us here on the A Foreign Affair podcast. Until next time, everyone, please stay safe and enjoy the football.
And good night, Blue Side of Mercy. You guys deserve that sleep.
Oof. They're going to need it. At least one. If not more. Oof. That was not great. It was very...
This show is sponsored by Alicia's Pillows and Things. Check out the Facebook page, Alicia's Pillows and Things, where you will find home decor you will not be able to resist at prices anybody can afford. Check out the pillows and stools of your favorite sports teams. Maybe you want a set of your kid's favorite cartoon or movie character. You can also get full body and neck pillows as well. Log on to NGSCsports.com and go to the Alicia's Pillows and Things tab on the homepage to complete your order. It makes a great gift for Christmas at an affordable price. NGSC Sports. We never stop.
You're listening to NGSC Sports Radio. Hear us live on NGSCsports.com, where you can get awesome analysis for all things sport. Or check out our podcasts on iHeartRadio, Spreaker, iTunes, TuneIn, and much more. For our latest videos, head to NGSC Sports YouTube channel. Follow us on Twitter at NGSC Sports and like us on Facebook. NGSC Sports. We never stop.